Hello everybody and welcome to the Atlanta Motor Speedway and another episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 2023 mod career mode season number 3 here for the NASCAR Xfinity Series Nally Cars 250, our second time around at Atlanta this year. Stories of the race: Sheldon Creed on pole, whereas Connor Zilish has to start at the rear of the field as we are once again in the WeatherTech Chevrolet doing another Xfinity start here as we're green and underway here in Atlanta. Who is going to go to victory lane? We're going to find out as we're on the outside of the 48 of Parker Kligerman. Now for position number 25 early in this 9-lap opening stage of racing. Of course, Creed up front on the pole, clear for the race lead already. Back here, we're trying to work our way forwards through this pack. Getting around Kligerman, fighting Leland Honeyman right now as we're on the outside to start this race, coming down the back stretch in the opening lap of racing. Swinging out to the inside of Parker Kligerman. We make that pass for 25th. Now we try to get around Alfredo and DiBenedetto up ahead of us, running 24th. We got Ryan Ellis right up here. We're flying by on this inside lane. It's going by 2, 3, 4 cars all the way up to 22nd. Just following fast pasta through on that inside lane. Now the next stop later, we switch to the outside of Alfredo, going to 3 and 4, and decide to commit to the high side of the racetrack here. Now we get a great run in the middle of the racetrack on the outside of Quaffle. Now go all the way to the outside of Brendan Poole and Ryan Truex, almost hitting the outside wall there, but making it work. 3 wide now on the outside lane, ripping the top, making it work now as we'll run that lane once again here through 1 and 2. Going to get us on the outside of Christian Eckes in the 11 and Parker Retzlaff in the 21 right there in front. So we get to the outside of Retzlaff, now trying to peek to the outside of Eckes. We barely squeeze into that gap between him and the wall and exit of 2. A very aggressive move right there. Now trying to go to the outside of Noah Gragson. Ryan Sieg almost 4 wide in turn 3. What a pass. Now going on the outside of Taylor Gray, squeezing by him. Now working by Ty Dillon. Brandon Jones up ahead of us. Jesse Love as well, now all the way up to the top 10 now. What a charge. We started deep in the field back in 26, and now just like that, within a few laps, we are now inside the top 10 into 8th as we go by Kyle Weatherman and Haley Deegan. Now we should 3 wide, switch back on Kyle Sieg, who's having a tremendous day right now in the top 10. And we go by AJ Allmendinger on the inside lane and move into 6th place, setting our sights on the top 5 up ahead of us here, which is Sheldon Creed. Is now on the last lap of stage 1 here in Atlanta. Looks like it'll be Sheldon Creed bringing home the stage 1 win in dominating fashion here at Atlanta. Creed wins stage 1. We'll bring home a solid 6th place stage finish after driving all the way back to the front from 26, up 20 spots in the opening stages. Creed, Custer, Allgaier, Carruth, and Sammy Smith, the top 5. Then we come home 6th, followed by Ryan Sieg, Ty Dillon, Brandon Jones, and AJ Allmendinger, the top 10 here at Atlanta. Going to stage number 2 now, another 9-lap stage, restarting in 6th here, right about where we finished that stage on the outside of the 10 of our teammate Derek Colleague Racing and Sammy Smith. We have a solid enough restart, still working from 6 now, going to the inside of Justin Allgaier to try to get on the top 5, which we will do, taking Smith and Custer 3 wide down the back straightaway to the inside. Can we make it work into 3 and 4? Yes, we get by Sammy Smith. Back to the inside of Custer for 3rd. A little bit of a bump there to last episode's winner, Raja Carruth in 2nd. He's trying to get around Creed now for the race lead as Custer and I continue to duke it out for 3rd place here in Atlanta. Custer will take that position. We will settle back in line in the 4th position. Now, a few laps later, we've gotten around Creed for 3rd. He's pushing us as we try to get by the inside of Cole Custer to get into 2nd. On exit of turn 4, we slide up the track. A little bit of contact. We're sideways, squirrely, bouncing off of Custer into Creed, back around, into the wall. Hard hit we go. Creed around. We get slammed by Sammy Smith in a huge crash here midway through stage 2 in Atlanta. It knocks us out of contention for stage points. Damages Creed and Cole Custer as we were all bouncing off of each other, and it just didn't end well there in a big crash. Now we have to restart all the way back in 35th here on this restart. Already squeezing Brandon Jones up into the wall there, moving to 31st. Now trying to go 4 wide into turn 3. Unbelievable move there, going by Clements. Pulling something. Now we're just flying up the middle, but now we're stuck behind the 39 of Ryan Sieg, who is held up by Blaine Perkins, the 02. So we're stuck in this middle lane, going absolutely nowhere, trying to break into the top 25. 3 wide with Ryan Sieg and Noah Gragson. Now chasing down Jeb Burton and Anthony Alfredo. Fast pasta right there up ahead of us, who's in 22nd as we try to get by him. Now we got Ryan Sieg back on our outside lane. 3 wide again. Sieg has to check up. Now we're 4 wide with Ryan Vargas. Somehow we all make it through there without wrecking big time. Now like we're diving into 19th, getting to the back of Kyle Weatherman. Last out of the stage, by the way. Creed somehow with that destroyed race cars and gets stage 2. When we swing to the outside of Kligerman, are going to steal 17th right at the last second. So we charge all the way up from 35th to 17th there in 2 laps at the end of the stage, but still no points for us. Creed sweeping the stages, 2 playoff points for him today. Then Caruth, Custer, Zilish, and Allgaier are the top 5, followed by Eckes, Allmendinger, Ty Dillon, Sammy Smith, and Ryan Truex gets the last stage point. So here we are, back underway in the final stage of racing here in the Xfinity Series race here at Atlanta. We are back in 6 as we took fuel only. Balicki, Brandon Jones, Gregson, Curry, Sieg, all these guys that also pitted with us there right at the end of that stage stayed out, didn't take fuel at all. I took fuel just so we could go a little bit longer on the run here and keep our track position that we got. Everyone else took 4 tires in fuel, as none of us took tires, so that all worked out well. As now we're trying to get by Noah Gragson for second here on the end of this first lap of the restart here. We have 18 to go, and this is already battling for second on the bumper of Ryan Sieg now for the race lead here at Atlanta. Can we get around here to get into the lead and get our 5th Xfinity win of the season? Gragson hanging in our outside lane, still side by side, fighting for second now down this back straightaway. An intense fight for position as we battle these 2 Fords into 3 and 4 early in this final stage of racing. I think we're going to clear Ryan Sieg. We pound the wall. Big hit into the outside wall into Ryan Sieg. We both save it, but that screws Ryan Sieg out of position and puts us all the way down to 4th. Few laps later, this is a disastrous mistake there. We just cleared ourselves too much and hit the outside wall, bounced down into Ryan Sieg. Big contact. A few laps later, we're able to not over clear ourselves there. Get around Gregson for 3rd. Now Allgaier and Zilish are in for their scheduled green flag pit stops at the end of the stage. Now cycle us out to the race lead here at Atlanta with just 10 laps to go. A few laps later, we are now coming in for our scheduled final green flag pit stop, coming in hot to the pit lane there. An aggressive pit entry, but we get down to pit road speed. Our coming in could be a good old 4-tire, 2 cans of fuel as a regular pit stop here. Get us out here, hopefully in the lead, in position to have a shot to win this race here in Atlanta. As we've been strong all race long, the strategy has worked out for us. Now we just need to have a good pit stop and hold our track position here at the end of this race. So great stop by the pit crew, 15-2. Gets us back out currently in the caution. The caution comes out right as we're entering pit road because the 9 of Brandon Jones blew a tire in turn 3, and that will bring the caution out. And so now a lot of strategy in this restart. We decided to stay out because we had already just completed our pit stop. So now it will be Raja Caruth and I on the front row. 4 laps to go here in Atlanta. Can we hold off Caruth and Retzloff to bring home the win? We are going to find out. It's going to be a tough battle, though, as now we move on to just 2 laps to go. We have held the lead on the restart, but Caruth and Retzloff are side by side, both trying to get by us now on both lanes of the racetrack. As we just got to try to manage both lines here like it's Daytona or Talladega, just hold them back, and we can be victorious here at Atlanta. As, of course, Caruth got it done last episode at Michigan for his first career win, trying to go back-to-back. Retzloff trying to steal one like he did at Charlotte. And we are trying to continue our dominance here in our select starts in the Xfinity Series as we lead the way now. White flag in the air, final lap. Presented by Credit One Bank here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Can we hold on to get the win? Retzloff to the bottom, we cover him off. Caruth on the outside, still getting slowed down. He's too busy fighting Retzloff. They're too busy side drafting until they have a shot here as they're side by side behind us. We cover Caruth now on the top, back down to block Retzloff. Covering Caruth a little bit as we go into 3 and 4 for the final time. We get a great entry to the corner. Drive off from both Caruth and Retzloff. And now turn 4 for the final time. We are going to hang on and win at Atlanta. Our 5th win of the season in the Xfinity Series and a few select starts. And now we go to burn it down in celebration of the burnout here on the front straightaway. What a performance. We get the job done here with a big win at Atlanta. With a late race restart, we were able to hold off Raja Caruth and Parker Retzloff, getting redemption from Michigan, where of course we weren't quite able to hold them off there. And that overtime finish with the strategy, now it works out for us today. So now we burn it down here on the front stretch. A big win for us here in Atlanta. Good way to start off the episode with an Xfinity victory. See if that will hopefully transfer into the main event, which of course is the Cup Series race at Michigan coming up next here. As we do a Matt Kenseth style burnout right up there in front of the flag stand in front of all the fans to see and celebrate with us. Now we head to Victory Lane to celebrate with the crew. Now look at your final race results, of course, as we qualify for the Cup race in the background. We, of course, are your winner here in Michigan. Parker Retzloff, Carew, second, third, both just we were able to cover them off there at the end, but great runs for both of those young drivers. Sammy Smith, Connor Zilish, also great top 5 runs for them. Creed ends up 6th after winning both stages. Allgaier comes home 7th. How about both Ryan and Kyle Sieg in the top 10? A great day for the Sieg boys, of course, from Tucker, Georgia, right near Atlanta, and then Noah Gregson also gets a top 10. But I think Allgaier has the points now to pass Gregson for that final spot in the playoffs. See through the rest of the grid there, of course, Carson Quaffle, Brandon Jones, De Benedetto had a tough day. They'll also DNF. As for your updated playoff grid now, just 4 races remain in the Xfinity Series regular season before the playoffs begin. Justin Allgaier now does have that final playoff spot on points by just 12 over Noah Gregson in a tight points battle, with Eckes and now officially in a must-win situation, joining everybody below him just because of how monumental their points gaps are. So it's basically Allgaier versus Gregson for the final spot, unless we have a new winner these last 4 races of the Xfinity regular season. And now we head to Michigan for the NASCAR Cup Series Firekeepers Casino 400. And now, welcome to the Michigan International Speedway. Everybody for the NASCAR Cup Series Firekeepers Casino 400. Of course, today's main event, the race number 24 of the Cup Series regular season. After this one, just 2 races remain until the playoffs begin at Darlington. Those 2 races being Watkins Glen next episode, and Daytona, of course, the regular season finale. Stories of the race this week, we've got a couple of friends in Burton and Custer, and that Ryan Blaney sits on the pole today alongside the 20 of Christopher Bell. As here we are, ready to get underway here at the Michigan International Speedway in our number 99 Best Buy Chevrolet, of course, using that paint scheme freshly designed by us by Landon Tollison. So another shout out to him for making some of these great paint schemes, as well as the other long list of painters in the description below. So here we are in 25th, and we are underway here in Michigan in this 10-lap opening stage of racing. Remember, of course, the last episode, I believe we had the Xfinity race here where we were trying to win it late, ended up coming home 9th, wrecking across the lines. Now we go by the 21 of Cole Custer, easily into turn 1 into 24th. Now working the outside of the 4 of Josh Berry. That gets us into 23rd, going by Berry. Catching up to Corey Heim, who had such a great run last time out at Iowa. Almost pulled off his first career win. We get around him for 22nd. Starts now on the 18 of Chandler Smith, of course, full-time for JGR. And that number 18. Now we go to the inside of the 16 of SVG. Shane Van Gisbergen right there on the outside of us, and that colleague Chevrolet. He's been great at the road courses this year. He's had some up and down runs on the ovals, but he's still learning, progressing as a driver. And I expect to see a lot more from him next season for sure. As we dive by the inside of Kyle Busch for 19th, get around him. Now working on the outside of the 48 of Bowman for 18th. Managed to squeeze to the outside of the 48 right there, going down this back straightaway. And now we'll get to the outside of Bowman now. We will drive into 3 and 4 to try to take this 18th place away and set our sights on Justin Haley. So we get a great run through the corner here to clear Bowman, but not quite. He's going to stay right there in our inside lane here out of turn 4 down this front straightaway. We're going to have the draft, though, from Haley, which will pull us ahead of Bowman. So we're able to move into the 17th spot. Down the back stretch now, we're going 3 wide with Justin Haley. Here comes the 31 of Daniel Hemrick, who has followed us through traffic, and Hemrick is flying through the pack right now. Hemrick has an extremely fast colleague Chevrolet, and he has now gotten around us for 17th, and he set his sights further down the road. Now later the lap, we're still fighting with Hemrick. Now 3 wide with Eric Jones and our teammate, the 1 of Ross Chastain, who will clear for a top 15 spot and 15th out of turn 4 as we continue to now race side by side with the 43 of Eric Jones down this front straightaway. Chastain pushes us clear. So a few laps later, we're still battling out with Keselowski for 16th as Hemrick has driven away up ahead of us and has put himself now in position to get stage points as we dive to the inside of Tyler Reddick and easily clear him with a great slide job through 3 and 4, and we're back into the top 15. A few laps later, Keselowski's gotten around us. Now we're trying to cross over Keselowski, and then we throw a absolute complete slide job on a high-speed oval. This is something you usually see at short tracks like Bristol. We threw it in there at Michigan, but unfortunately it didn't work as we could not clear either Keselowski or Buescher. They both hold us off here. So we're 16th now, last lap of the stage, limping home. Christopher Bell will be your stage 1 winner from the front row here in Michigan, continuing to extend that points gap to the cut line. Remember, he's the only driver left on points. If he wins today, we'll be at 16 winners. We'll be at max capacity for the playoffs. Any other winners would have to be above the lowest winner in points to get in. So Seabell wins the stage, followed by Byron Blaney. How about Nemechek in 4th? Then Larson in the top 5. Hamlin, Daniel Hemrick gets a couple of stage points. We, of course, get nothing. And we are now back underway in stage number 2 as we restart here from the 14th position on the racetrack, trying to go the outside of the 77 of Carson Hocevar for 13th. Hocevar, of course, the second-year driver, having a great season. He's top 20 in the point standings. Was right there in the conversation for that last spot in the playoffs before, of course, Josh Berry won the last time out at Iowa. So we dive to the inside of Hocevar for 13th. His only win was at Talladega last season. Now we're on the inside of Brad Keselowski for 12th to the 6th, who we've been racing all day long. Of course, Keselowski, this is his home track here in Michigan. A little bit of contact there. Didn't see Logano flying by on the outside. Of course, Keselowski from Rochester Hills, Michigan, still has never gotten a Cup Series win here at his home racetrack. Still trying to get it done here in the Cup Series. Now we dive underneath him and Logano, trying to make this 3-wide pass. We clear Logano, but Keselowski still on our outside lane. And the fight for 11th continues down the backstretch. Now Logano gets a run and pushes us down the backstretch, clear of Keselowski. Now the inside of Elliott to get into the top 10. So now we go the inside and we clear the most popular driver of Chase Elliott and move into 10th. And now we're closing in on Bubba Wallace for 9th. We swing underneath the 23 of Bubba Wallace, who's always been pretty solid here. Michigan's always shown a lot of speed. Sometimes just hasn't gotten the finishes. Of course, like this year was really fast. Got caught up in Kyle Larson's crash. A few laps later, now we're still holding on to 9th, trying to chase down the 54. Ty Gibbs, you go a little bit too wide, and there goes Bubba Wallace to the inside. He's going to make some contact. Squeezes, bounces off the outside wall. Big contact, and around goes the 23. Bubba goes spinning as we got into it. He gets slammed behind us by, I believe, Carson Hocevar and a few other cars pile in, and the caution will come out here. Making a restart here with just 7 to go in stage 2 here in Michigan. Denny Hamlin's trying to squeeze us up into the wall here because he's a hack as we go into turn 1. Trying to get around the outside of Hamlin for 7th as we go through turn 1 and 2. Working the outside of Elliott, who now gets to our inside. Elliott kind of moves us out of the way there for position, so I'm not too happy about the way Elliott just raced us. So we're getting into him down the back. Now he's just squeezing us the whole time. So I'm basically just placing myself as an immovable object. We were able to really avoid hitting the wall there. So kind of like the best case scenario when you're dealing with rivals in this game is just try to be an immovable object and just hold your spot and not be shoved in the wall. Now here comes Chase Briscoe going by us tonight. Of course, Briscoe last week, still feel terrible about getting into him there and end up ruining that great run that he had going. So still feel really bad about that. Now Keselowski gives us a shove, so we dive back underneath Briscoe for 9th, trying to make that pass. We get a little aggressive with the slide job there, a little teensy bit of contact, but we leave Briscoe room on the outside. Keselowski giving us a shove now down the backstretch. There's still 6 to go on the stage, and we continue to fight fiercely for 9th on the racetrack, which we'll take now from Chase Briscoe. Getting a run, we door Chase Elliott going into 3 and 4, try to get physical, use him up just a little bit to have him help us make the corner, which he will as we clear Elliott and secure 8th place here in Michigan. A few laps later, we're still trying to hold Keselowski back, who's now up to 9th. We're still hanging on to 8th. We go a little bit too wide, and there goes Keselowski back on the inside. Here comes Ty Gibbs to throw a huge block, and we both hit the wall right there. Me going from top to bottom, blocking him there. Just the aggression and the rivalry between Gibbs and I has just gotten to the point where we're putting each other in the wall now. Now he shunts us out of the way in 3 and 4. And now we drop all the way down to 10th spot as Gibbs and Keselowski both get around us. And now we have Chase Elliott, another one of the people who hates us, shutting us down into turn 1. We dive bomb Ty Gibbs, completely drive right through him to show a little bit of frustration the way he's been racing us. And that's a little bit of desperation as well. Trying to hold off Chase Elliott, throwing some aggressive blocks. We almost slammed Chase Briscoe into the wall right there. But we're able to hold 9th place as we go down now into turn 3 and 4. Trying to hang on to these last couple of stage points. Seabell still leading, dominating, looking to get the stage win. Elliott gives us a shot. Last stop of the stage is all down, racing the line. Elliott gets into us, so we door slam him. Elliott starts. Elliott spins. We slam Briscoe into the wall. We're wrecking everywhere. Across the line, 3-4 cars slamming into each other. We somehow take 9th, but I'm not proud of how we got it right there, earning 2 stage points by once again accidentally screwing over poor Chase Briscoe, who can't catch a break whenever he's racing me. As there, we just, Elliott tried to rough us up, so we roughed him back. He ended up wrecking, then we bounced down into Logano, then trying to avoid Elliott spinning, we swung up high and ended up cleaning out Chase Briscoe, and of course that sent us bouncing back down to Logano, sent him spinning across the line. So we restart here, 9th in this final stage of racing. Bell swept the stages. He's got 2 playoff points today, continuing to just cement himself as, even though he hasn't won yet, a very consistent championship level driver. As we clear Logano for 8th now into 3 and 4, and a few laps later we're still trying to hold on to 8th, but Chase Elliott now gives us a shot and bumps us out of the way completely, costing us 2, now maybe 3 spots indeed. Elliott shunts us, making us lose spots to him, Logano, and Ty Gibbs. We're all the way down to 12th now, trying to hold back Bubba Wallace. All guys we've had incidents with today, and the caution came out, so we're going to restart here with just 6 laps to go. We restart all the way back in 23rd, because we're the only driver that took 4 tires. Everyone else either took 2 tires or fuel only on their pit stops. I decided to take 4 because my tires were really old, and I just know on old tires we don't have the pace, so I decided to take a little bit of a gamble, go with the 4 fresh tires, and see how far we can drive up through the field. Already making an aggressive 3-wide move down the backstretch, splitting Stenhouse and Bowman down the middle. Now we're just like that, we're back into the top 20. 3 wide with Briscoe and Reddick. We get by both of them into 3 and 4. Now roughing up Zane Smith, who's a rival. We get by him for 16th. Now going to the inside of the 18 of Chandler Smith, trying to go 3 wide with Smith and Cindric. Well, now Cindric backs out, so it's just side by side with Smith for 14th down this front straightaway. With just 5 laps to go in Michigan, Christopher Bell continues to absolutely dominate this race, and we will now clear Chandler Smith for 14th into 1 and 2. Now exit turn 2, we're alongside Carson Hocevar, can't quite make the pass on him, so we fall back in line behind him, and down the backstretch we swing back to the inside of Hocevar now and easily clear the driver from Portage, Michigan for 13th. Now down to turn 1 of the next lap, we're back inside of Joey Logano for 12th place. We've been racing a lot today in Logano. We clear him for P12. Now we're going to try to clear the 23 Bubba Wallace, which we will do here for 11th, no problem. And now catching up to Chase Elliott, just like that, to be right back into the top 10. What a charge. Clearly the 4 fresh tire pit call was the right decision, as we already cycled back out better than where we were running. Now into the 10th spot, clear of Chase Elliott into the top 10. Now with 3 to go, we go to the inside of Ty Gibbs for 9th place. Of course, we've had multiple run-ins with today, trying to go by him and Keselowski, who we seem to be racing around him almost the entirety of the race now, fighting for 8th, almost 4 wide of Nemechek. Couldn't quite get him. Ty Gibbs was able to cross us over, so down to 3 and 4. Now we do the crisscross back on Ty Gibbs, hit the crossover, 3 wide pass, trying to clear him and Keselowski. We clear the 6, but can't clear Ty Gibbs. He gets back to our inside. I'm going to try to draft Nemechek, who's up in 7th, having a strong run today, top 10. All day long, stage points in both stages. 2 to go now. Gibbs trying to squeeze us in the wall. Christopher Bell driving away with the win in the final playoff spot right now, as we try to work the outside of Gibbs. Still trying to make that pass. We get a good shot right there from Keselowski. Still on the outside lane. Can't quite clear Ty Gibbs. He'll hold 8th for now, but Brad gives a huge push, so we take advantage. Swing low on Ty Gibbs, trying to take this 8th spot back from the 54. Which we will do into 3 and 4. Now we dive to try to get to the inside of Nemechek for 7th. Coming to the white flag this time by here in Michigan is still Christopher Bell holding the lead. Hamlin is there in 2nd, trying to find a way by. We're trying to get by Nemechek here for 7th. White flag in the air. Final lap presented by Credit One Bank in Michigan for Christopher Bell, looking to get his first win of the season. As now we slide underneath Nemechek, a little bit of contact there through 1 and 2, getting very physical, really squeezing him up out of room. He gets loose. We force our way by Nemechek into 7th. Now trying to have a shot at Blaney for 6th into 3 and 4. Bell still fighting Hamlin. They're side by side for the lead and for the win into 3 and 4. I send it with everything I've got into 3 and 4, come up the racetrack, get into Blaney, sideways, around goes the 12. Blaney spins and Nemechek, they're crashing behind us. Bell will win. We come home 7th with a dramatic last lap turn of events here in Michigan. As you see, as they were coming across the line, it was Bell and Hamlin were side by side, a photo finish here in Michigan. Christopher Bell is able to sneak out the win. As now we're going to get another closer look at how close that is, like the margin of victory right there. Christopher Bell by about half a car length over Denny Hamlin. Side by side, a couple hundred separating them, but Hamlin denied. Bell now makes it 16 different winners through 24 races. As you now look at your final race results here at Atlanta, Sorry, not Atlanta, at Michigan. Christopher Bell is the winner. Locks himself in the playoffs. Denny Hamlin second. An incredible career best run for Daniel Hemrick in third. William Byron and Kyle Larson round the top 5, followed by Keselowski, who passed us there, coming to the line for 6th. We come home 7th. Elliott 8th. Blaney and Nemechek crashing across the line, 9th and 10th. See the rest of the race results there. Good top 15 for hosts of our rough finishes for SVG. Josh Berry, Corey Heim not following up those strong runs in Iowa here in Michigan. So now we will look at the updated playoff grid. Remember, just 2 races remain now until the playoffs begin. Watkins Glen next episode and Daytona after that. And now, every spot, all 16 are currently filled up by winners. So that means everyone below the cut line has to win to get in. So that includes Ty Gibbs, Carson Hocevar, Corey Heim, Austin Cindric, Kyle Busch. All those guys and more, they have to win. That's their only path into the playoffs, or else we'll have these 16 drivers as your playoff field heading into Darlington. Of course, Christopher Bell jumps all the way up to 7th on the playoff grid with that win and where he is in the point standings. So before we end the episode, as always, I want to give a shout out to my channel members. So I'm going to give a shout out to my boy, Jeremy Isley. Thank you very much, Jeremy. I appreciate your support. And if any of you want to become members as well, the link is down in the description down below, or you can hit the join button to get early access to videos and other exclusive perks. So until the next episode, I hope you all have a good one.